Oh, it feels weird to be a character and not Bobby Joe again. But I still have I have a double death counter, and this one is accurate from the get-go. We'll put that away though. Yes, I believe there will be a lot of Omega smacking me down.
Unauthorized entry detected. Primary core firewalls activated. Initializing iconoclastic defense system Omega-1.
What the hell is an iconoclastic defense system? I have a feeling we're about to find out. And that we will not like the answer.
That's kind of dumb, but at the same time, that's very fair of Clive to ask. Now, despite this being a robo icon, I don't think I heard about you getting, I was going to call it a style, an icon from this DLC.
Containment complete. Authorizing environmental sterilization protocol.
Well, at least we know where it is this time.
Quite. And if we want it...
Although tuning Omega would have been funny.
Wanted? All we have to do is kill an icon.
Probably won't get robot powers, unfortunately.
Safety routines disabled. Weapons armed. Stand clear.
Now, unfortunately, I have to beat its baby first phase again. There we go. I had a feeling that would work out pretty well. Ooh. Ah, excellent. That actually worked out for enough time. Hey, get permafrosted again. Oh, it didn't do in time there, though. Oh, I'm doing much better on that. Oh. I thought that was being bullied. I didn't type that well, though. Damn. I didn't even get through its stagger bar before it hit phase 2.
Data assessment complete. Recalculating threat level. Weapon routines authorized. Rerouting core power to Omega-1.
Not yet.
So, question. Since Also, welcome, Captain. I might have
And
skipped
what makes
saying
you
that.
say that?
Oh, Clive, you try to be so clever. I know I see a lot of times, I've saw in regards to Final Fantasy XIV, Alexander pop up a couple times when Rebirth happened. And I imagine that, like, 14, since it's so much game, it covers a lot of these classic enemies. Is there, like, one of these kind of Omegas in 14? Is it from something else? Is Giant Robot Spider entirely new? Yes? Okay.
I'm convinced.
Oh, I didn't time that well. I was gonna pop this now and then try to be cheeky. Oh, that was a bad idea. No, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Oh, not timed at all. That's fine. Yeah, I'll just do it anyways. I'm ready to start an FF5 proper though. This makes Omega's theme is great. Oh, end up dead. This version of Omega is very tanky. I mean, I guess technically the first phase is also tanky, but the first phase is also only like a quarter of its health bar. I will say, this level of HP, I have no shame in just starting at phase 2. No, way too soon for that. Ah, I got that one though. Hey. Ooh. Actually, I should just pop this now anyways, because it'll give me most of the HP back. I have time to build it back up. Ooh, but it might help if I actually time things. Ah, yes, okay. Oh, I should actually... Oh, I wasn't at full. Okay, that's fine. Excellent. There we go. Oh, I didn't time that well, though.
I failed.
Well, I keep holding on to Diamond Dust, but I think I can pop it early to chew through a good bit of his stagger burr. Or I keep trying to hold on to it. Alright, so what have you guys been saying? Sorry, there's no way I have the brain to do that and look at stuff at the same time. In 14, Omega was made as a means to fight a super god dragon, and they were pretty evenly matched, so Omega is very important to the plot, but also almost entirely optional. In 5, it was just a super boss in the time rift, so 5 is weird. I mean, sometimes super bosses are just chilling in a time rift. That's kind of interesting if he was very important, but also... I'm just gonna actually have... This might have been dumb. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's right. I can do that too. Oh, but I didn't time that well. That's fine. Ah, excellent. Oh, I can't hit you in this though. No. Come on. Okay. Ah, I should have done more. That's fine. I'm just gonna pop all this now anyways. All of that, and he still got over half his health.
Do you feel the heat, brother? Seems like it still has some fire left in it. Too slow.
Well, I'll just get that going anyways. Oh, he got your... okay. Ooh. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Actually, you know what? Let's just pop this one in his face, too. Oh. Come on. Oh, there we go. Thank God. That did a lot of damage. Well, I maybe got through half of his health? He's very tanky. I know I say the time rift thing is weird, but they bring it back for 8 and kind of 10 and 13 too, so... Hey, when Kurg U7R is doing it too. So it'll be all the same time rift to boot. Over half, I think, close to staggering again. Oh yes, he was close to staggering. I think that's part of why he got me there too, because I was like, I think I did the mistake where... Oh wait, I'm at phase... So this is phase 3? Oh. Note to self, let's not get hit by that again in the future. Oh, that was dumb.
No.
That timed well there. Well, on the bright side, we know that I've gone into a phase 3-ish kind of thing. Hey, Soken, how many ways could you remix the same song? Soken, yes. That was smart. That was very smart. I'm just gonna get a full Mega Flare, why not? Oh, that was a partial. That was the full permafrost, okay. Ooh. Oh, dang it. Oh, it's not letting me. I wasn't holding long enough for Zuntets again. That was a mistake on my part. That's fine. Oh, this is mean. stacking these attacks is really mean. Didn't go too badly, but still. I count as frostbiting you. Nice. Oh, are you kidding me?
Safeguards removed. Commencing dimensional compression.
I'm sorry. Dimensional compression? This seems bad.
Why can't I? Breathe? Because it's constricting all of creation. Well then. We'd better kill it quick.
It's on Tetsukin.
Clive, we're running out of room.
Just keep fighting.
If anything can do it, it's gonna be Zantetsuken. Hit it with every super I've got. Well, that's everything I've got, basically, honestly. It's on Tetsuken? Hell yeah. The power of Odin spam. Omega Nodule. Common sense would suggest that any metal taken from the corpse of a centuries-old construct, metal that shudders and quakes like a slab of freshly cut swine's flesh, should be given a wide berth, if not a hefty heave into some nearby lagoon. That said, legendary weaponry is rarely the product of common sense. Some of these item descriptions are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, alright. So let's see. Was that... I didn't even die 10 times to him. That's not bad, actually. Now, admittedly, that was still, like, 70% of his health, but still. We already have a robot sword, but this might be a stronger robot sword? Barney might have made Freud blush, but damn if he didn't have a good sword.
Omega Control Unit. Offline. Initiating emergency core extraction.
Would you care to do the honors, Clive?
Gladly. For what? I thought I told you to leave this place.
What must you ruin us all? I cannot let you do that.
Bruh.
We need These crystals, they're all we have.
And
Too
just
bad.
who is this we?
We are of an ancient tribe, one of the first to lose its lands to the Blight. For countless years, we were forced to roam the Twins. A nation without a mother crystal, a people without a blessing. So we found our own. The dust crystals provide us a means to survive.
Yeah, well, no one has crystals anymore, so deal with
Yes,
it.
but at what cost? Like all crystals, these shards channel ether. And where do you think that ether comes from? It's sucked from the land, as a leech sucks blood from a beast.
And what? You just expect us to believe that?
No, we expect you to just lose your
That
crystal.
doesn't make what we've told you any less true. If this heart is anything like the others, it will bleed the twins of their life force, till naught remains, naught but death.
The proof is all around. What do you think robbed your people of their home in the first place? We are trying to stop that from happening again. And this is the only way.
Fuck me. You're Sid.
How?
You saw what happened after the Empire lost Drake's head.
How is Clive not incredibly
Do you suppose they would think
recognizable?
when they find out, as they surely will, that there is another heart hidden right here under their noses?
He doesn't wear anything
Your
over his
people's
dad's
need
pimp
will
armor.
count for naught.
Meanwhile, in Eorzea, oh boy, do I love all this ether we have. The snatched waste alone. Also, we're gonna break the crystal anyways. So, like, you can either pretend you're letting us do it, or we could just screw you over either
Damn
way.
it. It doesn't look like we have much of a choice.
You really don't.
You said you didn't believe him, Chief.
I don't. But the man does have a point. There's no keeping this place a secret now. And hanging on to these crystals will only get our people killed. Have it your way then. Just promise me you'll leave my people out of it.
Stand back. It's about to get hot in here.
5. Like, we don't care about their people anyways, but really, he's just like, I'm not even gonna bother wasting my breath on that. I'm just gonna equip, go a freet, and blow this mother up.
Full surge detected. Warning. System overload. System overload.
Clive did it extra fancy.
Error. Core not found. System failure imminent. System failure.
Clive had an audience he had to show off. Yeah, does feel like that, doesn't it?
I hope we did the right thing.
Alright, you guys might want to run out of the tower before it collapses. Kind of doing a Persona 5 right now. Well, it's a lot less glowy now.
We all saw the crystals fade, but what of the cages? We barely even explored half of the chambers.
Without the heart to sustain them, I doubt those still slumbering in the tower will stir now, if ever.
I hope you're right. The last thing the world needs is one of those six-legged pests running around wreaking havoc. We have more than enough two-legged pests to deal with as it is.
Oh,
However blameless they may
burn.
claim to be.
What? Oh, two-legged. Right. Sorry. I was just wondering what I'm going to tell the village elders when we get back. I suppose I'll just beg them for forgiveness, and when that doesn't work, give them the slip and lie low for a year or two.
You're planning to run away? Again?
What? It's got us this far, hasn't it? I mean, we may have had a bit of help, like.
Kind of you to remember. Will you and your people be alright?
Who cares?
Oh, we've made do without before. I reckon we'll survive. And if what you said is true, it's not like the rest of the realm's going to have it much easier. Besides, one man's ordeal is another man's opportunity, as the old saying goes.
I don't recall ever hearing that one, but fine.
I feel like we shouldn't have let them go.
Now, if you don't mind, we've got places to be.
Like, they deserve to be in
I
jail.
mean, we do.
Thanks for everything.
I said, we've got places to be.
Like, they've committed actual crimes. Like,
That's the
effectively
hard way,
the
then.
Crystal War
Karen and
profiteering.
Hippocrates will want to hear about this.
I was thinking we might first return to the tower and see if we can...
Back to the hideaway then.
We will not acknowledge this happened or talk about it ever again. See, it's locked. We're done. I think I just need to go back. Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. I thought I might be stuck on Omega longer. Obviously, it would have been amazing if I had beat Omega the first time tonight, but I can settle for a handful of deaths. It seemed like a pretty cool fight. I don't know if it lived up to the Omega hype, but I thought it was solid enough and worth what the Echoes of the Fallen was worth, because this was the cheaper of the DLCs, I want to say.
Good to see you still in one piece.
Echoes of the Fallen. Joshua says, would that we had more time to explore the Sage Spire. The myriad secrets that remain hidden within could further provide them insight into fallen civilization and how they might avoid a fall of their own. He continues that he hazards that even their dear Hippocrates might be tempted to leave the comforts of the shelves for an opportunity such as that. Which reminds him, we should also let Hippocrates and Lady Karen know of their discoveries.
Don't forget to inform the others, Clive.
Alright, well, let's go talk to Jill, who I'm sure is going to say basically the same thing, but... I mean, not the exact same thing. Something similar, most likely.
I can't help wondering if that was the only crystal the Fallen created. Clive?
Just as Lady Karen has been giving her the eye ever since we returned from the Sage Spire, he doesn't think it wise that we make her or Tomes wait much longer for the report.
Anyway,
Alright,
you should talk to Karen.
those were pretty skippable, but you know, we didn't know that until I did them. Surround, darkest before the dawn. Oh wow, there's a fair few of these missing. I wonder if they also gave us space for all the Leviathan ones. Oh. Okay. I remember having way more music than this. I assume that the DLC just added a crap ton. Holy moly. I hope I saved up enough money. Alright. Alright, talk to Karen.
Back, are ya? So? Did you find out where the dust crystals were coming from, or what?
It's, a long story. And perhaps one better told in the shelves.
Bloody hell. Remind me never to go poking round in any fallen ruins.
That likely for you, Karen?
Not only a mother crystal of human creation, but an icon as well. Truly, the study of our fallen forebears is endlessly rewarding. The wonders of which they were capable never cease to amaze.
They came as something of a surprise to us, too.
You can say that again. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into when we set foot in that tower.
We only knew the old stories. Of a people so consumed by greed that they sought to overthrow the gods. And I'd hazard the thing we found in that tower was conceived for that very purpose.
Omega, the offspring of the Fallen's boundless knowledge and unchecked ambition.
Okay, but it was
Dangerous
pretty cool.
combination for all concerned.
And
Even
Ultima
it did
crushed
murder me
them.
a bunch.
It was he whose secrets the Fallen coveted, let's not forget. He whom they strove to dethrone. Just as we strive to dethrone him now. Without their knowledge. And without their weapons of war.
Clive.
This power I've been given may exceed even theirs. But if I use it, as they did, who's to say things won't end the same way?
Come now, brother. I think the events of recent days have made it abundantly clear that we are not our ancestors. As well you know.
You're right. They made crystals. We destroy them.
In crafting their artificial art,
I mean, when you get down to
Fallen
it.
sought to emulate the divine. But that is not the path we have chosen.
No. We don't want to be gods. We just want to be free.
Well said. If one does not learn from the mistakes of the past, one is doomed to repeat them. And
Can
so,
we not have both, though?
I mean to write down everything you've told me to the very last detail, that those who come after might learn from our travails, and perhaps, just perhaps, forge a brighter future for our descendants.
Like, hear me out. A murder robot, but it's not using crystals. I feel like this is an acceptable compromise. Echoes of the Fallen. Quest complete. Yeah, looks like a bunch were added and are in shops around the world. Good to know. We can surely figure it out. Dusk Shard. As if unable or unwilling to accept the loss of their mother, with the destruction of the Sagespires heart, did all nearby dusk crystals shatter and fade. Oddly, those far removed from the tower, however, do not appear to have suffered the same fate, including a particularly suspect sample Goots was gulled into buying on a recent journey to Port Isolde. They're not even what you'd call decent, Famiel said, displayed in Clive's chamber. Okay, so we have a couple things to do. What's the already stone have? Well, look at that. We'll eventually start Leviathan in a bit, but... Dusk Shard. A subtle reflection of mankind, fiery yet flawed, brilliant yet brittle, and its future clear yet clouded. How the crystal endures despite its mother having faded is perhaps a sign of hope for us all. Alright. Do 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 do. Who's got new stuff? I guess Karen has stuff now that we're done.
Clive.
Ask about the dust crystals.
So,
Karen begins, the Fallen did manage to make a mother crystal of their own, did they? That lot of good it did them. She continues, it brought the wrath of God down on their own stupid heads, and left it to their descendants to clean up the mess they left behind. She tells us we did a good job making the Sage Spire spick and span, but if that fallen heart were anything like the others, she'll wager there's plenty of sherds still out there sitting in stockpiles, waiting to be sold to the highest bidder. So, they're not likely to last long, shoddy things that they are. And anyone who tries to flog them as common crystals is begging to get themselves nabbed for dealing in dodgy goods. Those crystals are naught but curios now. They're part of this world's history, not its future. Do you have anything new?
Be quick about it.
Anything new? Anything new? Alright. Oh, this one's exceptionally expensive. 60,000? Okay. Hymn of the Penitent. Oh. I wonder if this is one we missed and then has shown up here because I missed finding it in the spire.
You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Iconoclasm. I wonder if
It'd better
that's...
all be here.
Also, that was a lot of my money.
Is that all?
Do, 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 do. I would do almost half my money, though.
It's him, I tell you. The Crown Prince of Sambrek.
What can I do for my favorite nephew? We'll be fine, Clive.
Imagine people here listening like, what the heck is this new music Clive's put on? Okay. Oh, this is probably because we got a new sword. Hey, Blackthorn. You can make robot stuff now, right?
What do I owe the honor? For saying Thornian, do you?
This is not better than what I currently have, though, so these are fine, I guess. Omega Weapon. A blasphemous coupling of living flesh and synthetic bone. This relic of an age long forgotten shudders with that selfsame vital spirit that animated the Sage Spire's mightiest of sentinels. And when he looked upon mankind's creation, he saw himself. Oh, they'll make it a little bit better. Why not?
Should last you a good while. And
You all have you have like a techno kind of slightly goopy sword. Which I should have done that first because now it's back to appearance here. That's Fallen Forcer. This is Omega weapon. Okay. Doesn't look bad. Very shiny. Anything more to say? Or was it just Karen had something I missed? No, ask about the Sage Spire.
Chroniclers of the Fallen.
Speak of the Magitech war that took place prior to the civilization's fall. Joshua begins. That entity that we encountered in the Sage Spire, Omega, is doubtless one of many Magitech weapons that the Fallen produced.
Imagine it.
Legions of such things being sent into battle against one another, it would be enough to rend the very skies. But perhaps they need not imagine it. Thousands of years after the fall, and still the nations of their fair realm made war with their icons. And for what? Dominance. Like their forebears, all that it brought them was death and devastation. Mankind's folly did not end with the Fallen's fall.
But it may yet end with us.
Joshua concludes, for they go into battle wielding the greatest power in creation. Not that of the icons or of Magitech, but the ability to learn from their mistakes. Joshua, bro, that's adorable. You are not writing for a kids' television show for ages 3 to 7.
Shall we then?
Says the man with the revival powers. There's that too. Joshua forgot about the power of love and friendship. Yeah, really. And God in anime. Man, it's a little bit distracting walking around and just this super cool techno boss music is in the background.
What is it, Clive?
Ask about the Sage
Please
Spire.
tell me. It occurred to me.
Jill goes on that her father once told her of a great tower just beyond the border, which would one day be theirs. And thinking about it now, he could have only meant the Sage Spire. She wonders what he would have done had he claimed it, had he seen what they had seen.
The fallen mother crystal. And Omega.
And... I'm sorry. You paused long enough. I thought that line ended. Jill. Lion. She goes on, the pinnacle of their ancestors' power. The power that ushered them to their own destruction. Sometimes you just have to throw a rape right for the end of the world. She often asks herself if the strength of their icons is the same. Is it too much for them to control? Is it destined to destroy them, as it did the Fallen? Hers certainly came close to destroying her.
But you saved me.
And now, with the strength of both of their icons in Clive's heart, we're going to save them all.
Be strong, Clive.
And now we need to go do all of the stuff that Hippocrates learned. Yeah, let's just... It is what it is, I guess. What's up, Hippocrates?
I was wondering when next you visit.
Oh, we could ask him about the Sage Spire, of course. Hippocrates begins. One can only assume that the Mother Crystal's ability to channel ether was as valued by the fallen civilization as it has long been by theirs. Much more, no doubt, due to the vast quantities of ether that their ingenious inventions must have required.
Short.
The blessing of the crystals, that to modern man has seemed a nigh limitless bounty, must to them have appeared a resource most limited indeed. Little wonder that they should seek to divine the very source of this blessing, that they might claim it for their own. We witnessed the bitter fruit of that ambition within that tower. And not only that, their ambition to overthrow the gods too. The iconoclast Omega, the destroyer of the divine. Ironic that the icons, mighty works of Ultima, if his words are to be believed, should take their name from a mighty work of mankind that was designed to destroy him. Or perhaps entirely fitting.
What
All right.
subject shall we consider today?
Oh, the tower. Oh, right, because the tower was a person. The tower. The voice of the Sage Spire, or at least one heard echoing throughout its halls. It regards Clive and his allies as unwelcome intruders, and seeks to remove them, not merely from the tower itself, but from existence. Its cold inhumanity suggests that it has no human consciousness at its core. It is not but another diabolical device of the Fallen's creation. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've read that one already, but whatever. The voice of the Sage Spire, or at least one heard echoing throughout its halls. It is an artificial intelligence that controls the functioning of the tower's diverse contrivances, sending wave after wave of magitech monstrosities to eliminate Clive and his allies. However, Clive is not so easily eliminated, and after destroying the heart of the man-made Mother Crystal, the voice falls silent. Miner, we did Fermi, okay. The leader of the Dusk Crystal Miners, he and his associates Halleck and Marnik have long been visiting the Sage Spire to claim for their own the bounty of the Magitech Mother Crystal that sleeps within. The darkening of the skies brought with it a sudden efflorescence of crystal, which the miners sought to take advantage of by trading their excess yield on the black market. The leader of the Dusk Crystal Miners, he and his associates hail from an isolated community driven from their ancestral homeland by the spread of the Blight, having long relied on the Dusk Crystals for their survival. However, on learning that it is the crystals that cause the Blight, and knowing that it is but a matter of time before the authorities of the twins discover the Sage Spire and claim the Mother Crystal inside for themselves, he permits Clive to destroy the artificial heart. Yeah, right. Like Famiel could have stopped us. Bitch-ass fake angel named loser. Halleck, one of Famiel's familiars, alongside Barnack, engaged in mining shards of Dusk Crystal from the Magitech Mother Crystal. His natural nervousness is exacerbated by the perilous situations to which his chief is wont to expose him. Marnak, one of Famiel's familiars, alongside Halleck, engaged in mining shards of Dusk Crystal from the Magitech Mother Crystal. Being strong of thew and sunny of spirit, he finds himself well suited to physical tasks, and a good thing, too, for those in Famiel's employ often find themselves having to run for their lives at a moment's notice. Right. Lay of the Land, the Sage Spire. Another ageless relic of the fallen, the Sage Spire has loomed dark on the northern Rosarian horizon for as long as anyone can remember. Local legends about the tower being haunted abound, and as such, the remote upland moors upon which the tower stands remain largely uninhabited to this day, despite not yet having been claimed by the Blight. Over the years, myriad attempts to find an entrance to the ruins have ended in failure, but that does not necessarily mean that someone, or some three, has not already stumbled across a means inside. Okay, I did read that one. After centuries of slumber, the Sage Spire has awoken, albeit for reasons unknown. An early survey of its interior suggests the tower is indeed the source of the realm's dusk crystals, the specimens seemingly growing from the walls in large, uncontrolled clusters. Also identified is what appears to be a crystalline heart, set high upon a central dais. Most disturbingly, however, the tower seems to exhibit a manner of sentience, reacting to those who cross the tower's threshold and speaking to them in a language that is both at once uncomfortably similar and utterly foreign. Cracking the core. A cursory analysis of vocal records discovered in the tower suggests that the Sage Spire was a facility dedicated to the mass production of artificial crystal. Even after the facility was abandoned following the tragedy at Zemeckis, the remaining specimens continued to slowly grow until the destruction of the spire's heart emitted a sudden discharge of discordant resonance that led to the shattering and dissipation of all nearby dusk crystals. Hidden truths. While the main function of the Sage Spire was the mass production of artificial crystal, the fallen facility also appears to have been used in the Magitech repurposing and weaponization of byproducts from the crystallization process. The site was evacuated and sealed during Ultima's assault on Zemeckis, with tower security and maintenance duties relegated to echo-like automata, tireless machines that stalk the Spire's ivory halls to this day. So I know what it means by I spoke to them in a familiar yet unfamiliar way. Oh, is that a 14? Oh, but would imagine the tower just spoke to those vaguely British sounding folk in California in Zephyr Talk. Yeah, I thought this was like another like sneaky 14 reference or something, but no, that's pretty funny. Just give an advanced AI voice like the dumbest kind of vocal tics. The Dim. Once a lush woodland that provided abundant game and charcoal to the residents of Eastpool, recent decades have seen the blight gradually rob the region of nature's bounty, leaving little but lifeless stone and blackened boughs. Few brave the road north these days save bandits, brigands, and the occasional fool who thinks he might be the one to finally discover an entrance to the Sage Spire and claim the fabled treasures within. An entrance to the Spire? That first half is the exact same. Rumor has it that with the Sage Spire's recent awakening, ruins in the area have inexplicably flung their gates open, introducing all manner of grim and grotesque creatures into the heretofore abandoned waste. Alright. Mysteries of the Realm. Oh man. The final entry is called Living Flesh. That sounds like it's gonna be Katie's favorite. Dusk crystals. We did read the first one, I remember that. The Sage Spire. These shadowy shards that line the walls of the Sage Spire. Damiel and his associates have long mined these crystals to provide for their people. The sudden outgrowth that accompanied the darkening of the skies, providing a bounteous yield that they elected to sell for profit. The close resemblance to those shards that make up the mother crystals suggests that they too are linked to a heart, one that sleeps somewhere within the tower. Most flesh is living, though. This is true. That's a kind of weird thing, too, right? Because if I say, like, living flesh, I think most people will know, like, if you're saying in isolation, what you're talking about is some kind of, like, body horror scenario. But it is true. Like, on its own, all living flesh really means is that it's the flesh that is still attached to something living. Versus, say, you know, when you're harvesting flesh from a body because you need to eat. After the destruction of the heart, the shadowy shards that once line the walls of the Sage Spire, they were the product of the Fallen's ambition to replicate the original Mother Crystals. And though their reproduction The reproduction? Wow. The reproduction was far from its model, equal in terms of the strength and stability of its shards. They faded just the same when their heart was destroyed. Man-made heart. The heart of the artificial mother crystal that sleeps within the sage spire. It closely resembles the hearts of the true mother crystals, though the Fallen chose to keep their inside some manner of Magitech shielding system. Until, that is, Clive and his allies came too close for comfort, and the tower's intelligence ordered it evacuated to an inner chamber. Like the hearts of the true mother crystals, it leached huge quantities of ether from the earth. The Fallen, however, designed their own to conjoin with their ultimate Magitech monstrosity, Omega, inspiring it to even greater limits of destructive power. Yet even with their heart strength at its disposal, Omega was no match for the might of Clive and his allies. After the iconoclast met its brutal end, so too did the heart. I mean, as most flesh living inevitably isn't eventually. Rephrase, inevitably, eventually. Brain too dead. No, I got what you were getting at. That's... Is flesh quantum? Is both living and dead until... No. Oh, that's a cool image. What is that? No, that's just one of the wolves. Okay. At first, I thought that was like a bull scorpion thing. Specimens. Beasts and beastmen captured by the Fallen and held prisoner in the Sagespire. It looked like a horse. The variety of species on display suggests that they were collected from across the length and breadth of Valisthea. Many are barely recognizable from their modern-day counterparts, though whether this is the result of those creatures who escaped imprisonment changing over the ages, or of the experimentation conducted on those unlucky few who did not, remains unclear. What is clear, however, is that upon being released from their cells, they will dutifully obey the tower's orders to exterminate intruders. Research and development. Research logs left behind by their captors suggest that they were intended to be used in the Fallen's experiments into crafting crystals from an organic seed. Those on the lower levels appear to have escaped much of this experimentation, being released from their cells to drive out intruders. Those on the upper levels, however, exhibit strange crystalline structures conjoined to their flesh. Proof, if any more were needed, of the Fallen's ambitions for them. Living machines. The existence of the Magitech heart and the dust crystals shows that their research succeeded, the unlucky byproducts of their experiments being repurposed for military means. Magitech weaponry. Ah yes, Sigma. He killed me a couple times. Or twice? How many times did he kill me? 3 times. Wow, okay. Look at me trying to pump up my numbers. Arms produced by the Fallen many centuries past, using materials and methods far more advanced than those available today. Their capacity for destruction likewise eclipses that of the deadliest weapons of the modern era. Which goes some way to explaining why the Fallen are no longer with us. The Sage Spire. Arms produced by the Fallen many centuries past. Ah, it's the same thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. These weapons came in myriad shapes and sizes, from miniaturized magical cannons intended to be wielded by foot soldiers, to failed experiments into breeding crystals repurposed as living weapons, to the iconoclast Omega, a self-propelled magitech monstrosity designed to overthrow the gods themselves, powered by the stolen secret of creation. Iconoclasts, by far the mightiest of the many magitech weapons produced by the fallen civilization. The name Iconoclast means destroyer of the divine, and this is exactly the purpose for which they were created, to overthrow the gods, that humanity might rule over all creation. Scholars believe that numerous iconoclasts of differing designs were produced by the Fallen's rival factions, yet all were destroyed during the Magitech War and the ill-fated invasion of Zemeckis that followed. The discovery of Omega, however, raises the possibility that other iconoclasts may still survive. Their world-shattering power, but an unlucky archaeologian's misstep away. Could you imagine if you're like just a real ass archaeologist with no magic powers or any, which I mean is not going to be the case because like how many times have we seen if you're doing that you should get some kind of bodyguard because you're going to get attacked by robots. But in the world where you've somehow not encountered any, you've just been a lucky archaeologist and you come across just an Omega, it'd be very unlucky. Living flesh. A gruesome gore found clinging to the walls of the upper reaches of the Sage Spire, pulsating organically and glistening like lifeblood. Its similarity to the flesh of the strange beasts Clive and his allies encountered in the lower levels suggests that they may have been crafted from this very substance. The Fallen were attempting to grow crystals using beasts and beastmen as seeds, and this substance appears to be a byproduct of those experiments. Its strength and malleability proving the ideal material from which to craft living weapons. It appears that a disturbance in the ether resulting from Ultima's casting of Primogenesis overwhelmed whatever infernal engine produced it, resulting in its runaway growth throughout the facility. So yeah, pretty gross. And the bestiary. These are the ancient goblins. The Angra menu. I think how Sigma and Omicron were both after. Because I'm pretty sure we fought at least Ancient Minotaur and Angra Mainyu later, actually. Goblins in the Dim. While exhibiting many of the distinguishing features conventionally attributed to goblins, large ears, hunched gait, malevolent eyes, these unique specimens encountered in the Dim can be characterized by their rotten, gnarled flesh, and a shock of fiery red hair running from their crowns down the length of their crooked spines. What is more, the weapons they carry are neither twisted bows nor rusted pikes, but rather crooks and cleavers intricately crafted from material of decidedly fallen origin. Though how the goblins might have worked the material, where mankind has historically failed, remains a mystery. I guess you did fight Mr. Not a Beholder. Yeah, the Ahriman. It has become ever more apparent that the strange creatures now roaming the Dim are not, in fact, a new species of goblin, but rather an old one, likely captured by the Fallen and imprisoned inside the Sage Spire for the purpose of academic research. they would have remained suspended in time indefinitely, bound by the tower's arcane magics, had not happenstance seen the lock thrown from their cages 15 centuries after their capture. While these goblins exceed their more modern cousins in strength, hardiness, and overall ferocity, possibly through magitech augmentation, there is no apparent difference in mental faculty. Ancient Minotaur. Look at how chubby he is. At a glance, the quality and complexity of both the decorative markings on their skin and the gold work they adorn implies that these ancestors of the Tauri, currently inhabiting the deserts of Dhalmekia, achieved a much higher level of civilization than their modern-day progeny. The crystallization of their horns and hooves, however, is clear evidence of experimentation at the hands of their fallen captors. With the original Minotaurs that chunky, which page are you guys on? This page? No, they definitely look like they used to be like broader, but then they got like taller with time. Either that or maybe the one we found was just a squatter individual. That's always a problem, right? When you find just like one or two remnants of an older species or something. And, you know, maybe that is what that entire species looked like. Or maybe it just so happened the one you found was maybe a younger age than you expected. Or in this case, just one chunky little guy. Angra Mainyu. Unlike Sigma or Omicron, creatures coaxed into existence through the miracle of fallen science, Angra Mainyu is instead an example of Sagespire engineers imposing their wills onto an existing life form in an arrogant attempt to stimulate or enhance its connatural faculties. The crystal embedded within its cranium may either serve as a source from which ethereal essence is drawn, or as a means of control by an outside party. Sigma. When an alpha is even more alpha than now. A colossal killing machine forged not from iron and steel, but from living flesh grown in a laboratorium. Both deceptively swift and magically adept, Sigma is thought to have served the Fallen as a guardian of the Sagespire, tasked with preventing unauthorized access to the tower's upper levels and the secrets stored within. Omicron. Not content with the combat performance exhibited by their Sigma model, Sagespire engineers continued perfecting their methods until they had created Omicron, a mindless thrall similar in size and build to its predecessor, but stronger, faster, and more resilient. The engineers also felt the need to give it a sword and teach it how to use it. It's funny because I think the first time I fought not a Beholder, he was the super boss in the desert in X2. He was more Machina. Oh, that's interesting. I guess you think about it, whenever you're playing these kind of games, depending on where you start and whatnot, you can always get weird stories of like, because there's ones you find, but it's like, well, I guess some are pretty classic. Like, tonberries are usually tonberries. I guess there could be, I mean, it depends, right? But it's like people who like, because I always knew them as Marlboros first. But if, say, 16 was your first Final Fantasy, you'd be like, oh, it's a marble. They call marbles other things. Omega, or Iconoclastic Defense System Omega 1, was the Sagespire's last line of defense in the preservation of its most valuable asset, the artificial heart, capable of warping the very geometries that define our world.
the Magitech construct was likely one of the most powerful weapons ever created by the Fallen.
All right. Oh, did I? Oh, wait a second. Did they add something new in one of these old ones? What'd you guys add? Echoes? I guess it's this one?
Strange clockwork constructs often encountered in and near fallen ruins. Though originally servants of Ultima, created by the entity in a time lost to memory, the Fallen appear to have employed Magitech to successfully engineer replicas eerily identical in both appearance and functionality, casting doubt upon the hypothesis that an Echo's form is somehow a result of scavenging ruins. Despite being masterless for the better part of a millennium and a half, the Auto Machina continued to dutifully attend to the tasks bestowed upon them before the fall.
Oh, we still have more here. Okay.
Hubris, an ancient civilization that thrived some thousands of years before the present day. Their Magitech technology began by aping those wonders left behind by Ultima many eons prior, and ended in their attempts to divine those secrets most inseparable from divinity, the means of crafting a mother crystal and the terrible strength of the icons. Legend has it that the people of the Fallen once sailed through the skies in the bellies of these ships, though all now lie shattered and silent on the surface below. The ruins that litter the lands around Zemeckis lend weight to the theory that they were also used to wage war, as does the presence of several similar craft in the Sage Spire, a veritable factory of death-dealing armaments. Magitech in the Sage Spire, a term that appears in early histories of the fallen civilization and describes their highly advanced magical technology. Though it was long believed that the iconoclasts mentioned in early histories were lost to the ages, one such abomination was discovered in the Sage Spire, along with the heart of the Magitech Mother Crystal that powered its world-crushing wrath.
All right. Now, Mr. Zedel, what lay of the land did you add? Probably something in Rosaria about the Sage Spire, now that we've turned it off. Oh, Port Isolde, are you kidding me?
A port city situated on the southwestern coast of the imperial province of Rosaria. Following the fall of Rosaria to imperial rule, the city became a stronghold of the western garrison, its gates closed to native Rosarians seeking shelter from the chaos enveloping the world beyond its walls. However, with the collapse of the empire and the withdrawal of the garrison, Port Isolde has reverted to local rule, the sellswords in Lord Byron's employ, ensuring her gates remain open to refugees, yet closed to those who would usher the outside chaos within.
Oh, okay. There we
The door
go.
to the shelves shall ever be open.
Okay, I think all of that is now good. So there's more music tracks around the world, you say? Oh, I see something here in Northreach. Going on a
hitting up all the stores to
More
buy
of those
albums.
special elixirs.
I hear the Jokes agree to let
Every shop.
The Vale's got paps, and they're all just as sweet.
Oh, well, since we're here. Oh, come on, game. Yeah, Toggle's still a good boy. Okay. Give me your music. I would like to buy albums, please.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to buy all of these. If some are like that expensive?
Excellent choice. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. An excellent choice. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. An excellent
Death
choice.
shall me devour?
I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
Well, we'll blow all of our money on music, I guess. Northreach. Okay, no, this is still in the Northreach one. I wish I remembered, like, like, if they said which region was, like, which. Wait, yes, they do. It's if you look at these things. If you look at the lines they have. I'm a dumbass. Okay. Alright, Backlad. Oh, I remember Backlad. I remember its name anyways.
What are you looking for?
Well, I think this is where the brother and sister were. Over shifting sands. Oh, it's just expensive though. Tabor doesn't have anything new though. Ah. But freaking Dalamil. Ugh. I remember you, Dalamil. Shouldn't have saved you. I want to go this way, I think.
I knew I was right not to give up on Lubor.
Ginger and ginseng.
How about a few spicy sausages to put in
So,
your pot,
you're
eh?
going to
They'll
join
warm
the
you up
watch
no
after
end.
all, then?
When Lubor sucked, but then the town sucked even more, and we're like, well, you guys deserve each other, so we should help out.
Right after the bang.
Are you looking for something in particular? My thanks. An excellent choice. My thanks. An excellent choice. My thanks. Here
Remember how you said I had a lot of money?
My thanks. An excellent choice. My thanks.
My
Thank
goodness.
you for your custom.
And here I thought I had a lot of money. It is all gone now. Why would you sell items? Don't they have a thing that shows up where, like...
Are you looking for something in particular?
I mean, sure, 32,000. That's like 4 orchestrion rolls?
Thank you for your custom.
I did think that was going to be in the buying tab, but it makes sense you have to go over to the sell tab to see it. Was there a shop over here? Maybe that was just enough, actually. I guess there were no shops over here, weren't they? Since, Barney kind of murdered all his people. Did I have just enough money then? And then a little extra, which is good. You never want to be like empty out of your pocket, right? I'm pretty sure I already checked Martha's Rest. That's this one over here. Actually, I think that's one of the ones. Yeah, because we went to Sarwise as part of the thing, right? So. All right. I think that is actually everything. Oh, I need to actually teleport back to the hideaway now. Man, I had this cache of Gil on. Oh no. They've still had the techno music playing while we've been gone. There is so much music. I'm still missing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 songs. Now I'm going to assume some of these are going to be once we start Leviathan. Where was the edgy one? Death shall me devour. Yeah, it could have been edgier sounding. All right. I think with that, I've basically done everything I could do. And it is time to begin the quest for big fish. Well, when Clive will get to find out, for once in his life, scared me for a second there, what the hell a Leviathan is. Oh wait, dear Sid. Oh, right, from freaking Famiel. Famiel writes us, Dear Sid, I write you this note from Imperial Lands. Yes, I know we said we'd be going straight home, but a little detour to trade the trinkets they'd picked up on their travel. We'd picked up on our travels for some trusty Gil seemed in order. Give the elders something to soften the shock of losing the dust crystals like. Truth is, those crystals have long been a lifeline for our people, and though I may have been quick to comprehend your reasoning that they're naught but a tether to a sinking ship, humble country folk like mine are rather less receptive to new ideas. Wish me luck in turning them to the righteous path. Famiel. P.S. In the unlikely event that we should find ourselves driven from our home at a point of pitchfork, I trust you'll spare us a better 3. The lads can sleep on the floor at a pinch. Oh, this is just one big fishing minigame. That would be amazing. Unmarked is... Wow, okay. Unmarked. Sid, I shall not waste time mincing words. Leviathan's dominant is in need of rescue, and despite my innumerable misgivings about joining hands with an outlaw of the highest disrepute, the dame has assured me that there is none better suited to the task at hand. I dare not reveal more for fear this missive could fall into the wrong hands, but if what little I have penned here has kindled your interest, I beg you journey to the Vale and Northreach and inquire with one Layla. She will surely see you satisfied. I love that this Leviathan DLC starts with no front. Leviathan's dominant is in the first 10 words of this missive. Well, maybe first 12 if you count it says unmarked and then Sid. Leviathan's dominant. Turns to Jill and Joshua. What's a Leviathan? Heed the mysterious request. Yes?
Leviathan the Lost. But why now? After all this time.
Why, what now?
Holy shit, Jill, you're not going to believe it. Leviathan.
not sure you believe me if I told you.
After all we've been through,
But it's Leviathan.
I doubt there's anything that could surprise me at this point.
All right then. Rouse Joshua and meet me in the mess. We'll talk there. I see we're all here.
So, what is it this time?
I'm not sure yet. The letter delivered to my chambers omitted a few crucial details.
Do we know its provenance?
That was one of the details it omitted.
Active time tides and shift rising tide will now appear in active time lore. You don't recognize the term or wish to know more about it. Yeah. Okay, that's the same. Leviathan the Lost actually finally has an entry. Also, I went here because I wanted to remember what his name is, but it's still escaping me right now. Nah, that's fine. Leviathan the Lost. Despite the prominence of the dominants and their icons in modern politics and warfare, recent history makes no mention of an icon of water. So long has it been, in fact, since Leviathan last appeared in Valsleia, that he is now almost exclusively referred to as the Lost. As to where exactly he went, though, no one is quite certain. I mean, almost exclusively referred to as the Lost when he comes up all of, like, one time, maybe.
But whoever the sender was, it seems the Dame held them in high enough regard to point them in our direction.
The Dame? Well, she's not one to waste our time. It must be important.
Important might be an understatement.
Yes, Otto.
If the letter
Thank you.
is to be believed, Leviathan's dominant is in danger. And someone wants us to save him.
Leviathan?
So the Warden of Water has finally returned. What has it been? 100 years?
More. The Lost moniker dates back at least that long. Even our venerable lawsman would not have been so much as a glint in his father's eye when last the mighty serpent brought his crushing waves to bear upon the realm.
But why the gap? I know it can be a few years before a new dominant's born. But over a century?
Should the dominant of Water's bloodline have been severed somehow, it could have prevented a new dominant from awakening.
Really?
But if one has awakened now, he couldn't have chosen a worse time. Every nation in the realm has lost its dominant. If word gets out that there is still one to be had, they will stop at nothing to claim it for their own.
And the twins will be at war again, just when humanity most needs to come together. Did the letter say anything else?
Only that if I wish to know more, we must meet in person. And that the Veil can arrange a meeting.
If nothing else, you can be certain it ain't a trap.
Famous last words. I'm coming with you.
It's been a while
As am I.
since the base game. Does Otto sound growlier?
Both of you. And Otto?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on things here. Didn't fancy coming anyway.
Thank you. I shall leave the Invincible in your capable hands.
Like, I wouldn't say it's bad, like worse, better. It just sounds like maybe when they had him do it, they were like, you know, be a little growlier this time. But that's always been a little while. I might just be hearing things. Chasing the tides. Quest destinations for the rising tide are indicated with a murmur. After accepting the quest, current objectives are explained to this. Yeah, that's the same. Prioritizing the tide. Yeah, it's all the same. Gotta find Layla in Northreach. Just trying to keep up with Clive and Sid.
What will it be today?
This is
What
gonna be the
is it that
same
you wish
thing.
to learn? Here's the latest information I have.
Being the tides and the Grand Cast updated. Alright, what was the thing? It was... Oh, the dominant needs saving. Entreating the hideaway for aid. Oh, she's coming. Dominant needs saving. The icon just what we needed. Looks like I'm on my Todd again. Off on another adventure. I'm so happy they're giving Torgal his thoughts. He's just a dog. Is Aven's dominant truly out there? Just one of these days we just go to Torgal and it's just like, Borf? And situation map. It's more of the tides. Yep. He is a good boy.
Is ever changing, Clive.
Find Leviathan yet?
What about the rising tide, Otto?
So, you're off to the Vale then?
Try and keep your mind on finding whoever wrote that letter, A, O, and Otto continues.
See the dame.
He wants us to let her know he appreciates her reports.
You let me worry about this place, eh?
Alright, Otto.
There's something about it. I feel like it's calling to me.
Man, Dion's like, are we gonna do this thing where I kill myself? No, Dion, keep waiting. We have more stuff to do.
How goes it, brother? Does it not seem odd?
That after an absence of more than a century, Leviathan should reappear just as we claim the powers of the realm's final warden? Okay, so similarly, this DLC, it makes sense. It's all like at endgame. We have to go figure out what a Leviathan is. It's
Could
important.
this perhaps be a part of Ultima's plan? Shall we then?
Damn, that's dastardly of Ultima. He planned on me spending money. And we'll go talk to Jill.
Something wrong?
The rising tide.
The world is ending.
And here we are worrying that the realm will spend its remaining strength fighting for the right to claim a dominant, Jill says.
And for what, if not more bloodshed?
Besides which, she continues, if it's true the dominant needs their help, is it not likely they've already been claimed?
We should be going, Clive.
Those were shorter lines, but I assume because this is going to be a longer DLC, there's going to be more stuff they'll say as we go. All right, map, where do I go? All right.
To the Vale it is then.
Hopefully we don't need any money to go see where Leviathan is, because I kind of spent almost all of it on music.
Looks like you've got a thirst.
But enough talk.
Fancy a peek behind the veil, my lord?
Okay, you have to realize, it took Jill ages and a sex speech to get through to Clive. You have no chance. Anyways, we're here for plot. And like literally plot.
Looking for a Layla.
You found one. So, will your friends be joining in? Or just watching?
Clive's like, that's an option?
We're not here for your services. We simply want to talk.
What you do with your time is up to you. The price is still the same.
We're here about the letter.
Oh. Oh, sorry. I suppose you'll be wanting to know who wrote it then.
I get that's Layla's job. Also, I thought maybe she was going to show up here, but apparently not. But again, Clive, Jill, and Joshua all have an obvious look to them. Why would you assume they are just here to get a prostitute? I know that is what your job is, lady. But also, you have been oh. Also, time to put the gill-making accessory on. Hopefully not. Leviathan the Lost. We already get a new one of these. Maybe because she's going to tell us about it. So long as it has been since the icon of water last appeared in Valisthea, that many have forgotten Leviathan even existed, despite much evidence to the contrary. Old writings clearly speak of dominance past summoning great whale-like creatures capable of swallowing entire cities with their gaping maws. Visual records such as the famed Circle of Malleus tapestry also exist, depicting the icon as a giant serpent alongside its elemental brethren.
Among other things.
Look, I'm just the messenger here. There's only so much I can tell you.
Specifically?
A location, north of town, on the shore of Isle of Feist Bay. There you'll find a tent and the woman who can answer your questions.
And that's all? Nothing else?
Actually, one thing. There's more than flowers in the meadows these days. So keep that sword of yours to hand.
Okay, sure enough.
You venture into the royal meadows anymore, so you won't be overheard.
Oh, it's like right out. Okay, it's like right outside town. That's not bad.
Does anyone else think it's strange that this woman should prefer to keep to the outskirts of town?
Not if she realizes the value of the information she's party to.
And the danger it puts her in.
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue-eyed fiends of late.
Perhaps.
I could have gone to the training grounds, but this will be just as fine. Plus, we can summon Ambrosia.
Do be careful.
I will.
This Ambrosia is a chocobo. It is not a staff through which we do magic.
Run like the wind.
Boop, boop. Do, 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 do. Riding on our chocobos.
The tent is where Layla said it would be.
Yes, but who awaits us inside?
Be safe.
I had to hold on to this. Alright, let's inspect the tent.
It's empty. Why am I not surprised?
Okay, but it looks like the fire was just quenched, so she's probably not too far. Inspect the skiff.
The boat. No prizes for guessing who that belongs to.
Okay, I've searched the 2 areas around the tent. Ah, but now I need to inspect the fire pit. They were here
The embers are
recently.
still warm.
So you're Sid.
Torgal says hi. Alright. Starting with an ass shot. Fair enough.
I suppose I must be. Which means you have me at a disadvantage.
Apologies. I am Shula, tributary of Mysidia, final haven of the Morts of Water.
Okay. When the NPC walks up and just blasts you with a shotgun of proper pronouns, Shula.
leader of the Moats of Water, and author of the letter asking for Sid the Outlaw's aid in rescuing the dominant of Leviathan. That the note was delivered via the veil suggests that she shares a friendship with the dame, though the fact that she preferred a tent upon the isolated bluffs far from Northreach for a meeting place over Isabel's establishment implies a need for the greatest secrecy.
The Moats of Water.
The very tribe into which it was believed Leviathan's dominant was born. A people notable for their sapphire eyes and ivory hair. Yes, that would be impossible, since the tribe famously...
vanished. Was exterminated. Despite the best efforts of both church and state, we are still very much alive. Though we've managed to keep that fact hidden from good Krieger's faithful for over a century.
Along with Leviathan's dominant.
Speaking of, give us.
Wave.
Need to nom it.
What do you know of it?
The Surge. Only that it's been there a long time.
Since the fall of Drake's Eye almost a century ago. Some claim the two are connected, but none can speak with any certainty.
So in other words, you know nothing. Not that I'll hold it against you.
Your tone implies otherwise. Very rude, Shula.
The wave was raised by Leviathan in an act of rage. Moments before the waters were stayed, and the icon and its dominant bound within.
And you want us to...
rescue him. Yes. You see, a little bird told me about a certain outlaw with a singular knack for putting unruly dominants in their place. And ours is about as unruly as they get. For years, we've searched for someone who could hold their own against an icon. Someone just like you. So what do you say? Will you help us?
What exactly did your dominant do to warrant this punishment?
Yeah, really.
What did he do? He committed the greatest crime one of his kind can. He was born. But he deserves a better fate than the one my people forced upon him. He deserves to be free.
Okay.
As do we all.
Well, let's go free our fishy friend and then eat him.
Far-fetched though your tale may seem, something tells me you speak in earnest. So we will do what we can for your dominant. But first, you will tell us everything you know about him and the means of his imprisonment.
I can do better than that. I can show you. Care to take a trip across the bay? My people await you there.
Lead the way.
Alright. Anything new here? Oh, sweet.
The Moats of Water, the people among whom the dominant of Leviathan is born, notable for their ivory hair and sapphire eyes. Histories agree that their bloodline was ended some 100 or more years ago. The icon that swims within it forever lost to the world. The Surge, a towering wave, seemingly frozen in time for the past 80 years. Due to its sudden appearance off Mysidia's Cape Nepto immediately following the fall of Drake's Eye, scholars generally presume the two occurrences are related. If Shula, tributary of the Moats of Water, is to be believed, however, the wave was not only summoned by Leviathan the Lost, but that the icon's dominant still slumbers within it.
The dominant of Leviathan.
The dominant of Leviathan, who Shula would see freed from an 80-year imprisonment. According to the tributary's tale, it was the dominant summoning of his icon that brought forth the Surge, the frozen wave that looms upon the horizon north of Northreach, within which he sleeps even now. Gonna get on a boat.
Oh, we get to go over here. They had a whole little area for it. That's fun. The Lost Cloak, Northeastern Storm. Oh, Northern Eastern Storm. Northern Eastern, Northeastern, whatever. If you manage to navigate the cloak's narrow mountaintop pass without plummeting to your death, you will be rewarded with a breathtaking view of blighted wasteland stretching from the Oilifest Bay to the Sea of Grace. We're on a boat. Aw, look at Torgal at the prow like a good boy.
All right, you might want to hold on to something. We're coming up on the wall, and passing through can take a bit of getting used to.
I don't see any wall.
Of course you don't. That's the point. It's a glamour woven by our ancestors to keep our village hidden from prying eyes. But don't...
Whoops. She went to a new line fast a lot. Mysidia, eh? Julia, that's a wizard town. Curious if that's true here, too. Well, she just mentioned the glamour, so... Sorry. Stretching west.
Stretching west from the former holy capital of Oriflamme, Oilifest Bay was, until recently, utilized by northern Thanes to raid the wheat and rye fields of Royal Meadows. To prevent such unwanted incursions into imperial lands, the Empire lined the coast with watchtowers from Moor to Northreach. However, as the Blight swallowed more and more of the north, forcing the Thanes into isolated pockets, the frequency of these raids trickled to almost nothing, and now only a handful of the towers remain.
Take my word for it. Watch.
Ooh. Very pretty.
That was worse than a slug of Bacchus wine.
Clive, the sky.
It's blue, but how is that possible?
You do know what a glamour is, don't you? Ours just happens to work both ways, and a good thing too. I wouldn't fancy staring at those sickly clouds every day.
The rising tide. Time. No more Once Upon a Time. I appreciate how they were like, God, we make it look really ugly for the big finale. We wanted this DLC to look kind of pretty, so you know, it's glamour magic. It works both ways. Why not?
And that concludes our little voyage. We're here. It's a long slog to the village, and a hard one. I hope you're up for a climb.
Okay, Shula. Ah. Or is this cutscene travel?
Finally.
What? You didn't think we'd arrived, did you? The village isn't up here. It's on the other side of the mountain.
Of course it is.
Excellent. The lost clock. The lost cloak. The lost clock. Alright. Cloak top. The lost cloak. The path of silence. River's edge. More. Maiden's March. Father's Fell. Tailwind Bay. Rivers meet. Okay. If we look at us in the map, we're still over here. And if we look at journal, it's just going to say the basic thing, right? Yeah, make for Shula's village. Okay. All right. Before we continue, I'm going to take a small break here. Just to, like, walk around a little bit. Maybe refresh my beverage. And then we'll see how close to getting our fishy friend we can get tonight. Right back in a few minutes. Alright. Oh, going the wrong way though. Oh, I didn't even check. Do we have Shula with us? Yeah, we do. Look at her. She's a little guest there. I mean, we saw she kind of had a weapon on her back, so. I can't.
Watch yourself, Sid. This path can be treacherous. If not for the sheer drop, then for the beasts who prowl it.
Thank you for the warning. And please, call me Clive. Sid is an alias.
No, please call him Sid.
To learn, Lady Shula, that I have no such aliases.
Joshua.
So, Lord Margrace.
It's all the same to me.
Also, apparently she let us bring... Okay, no. For a second, I'm like, I can get Ambrosia, but no, it was showing the icon so I could throw it away. Maybe we'll get a fake Ambrosia for here. Joshua putting the moves on Shula. How dare he? He has a ninja wife.
I was wondering when they'd pick up our scent.
Stand back. We'll handle this.
Oh, will you now? Shall I keep my axe and spells to myself, then?
Earlier you mentioned spells, yet I see you carry no crystals.
Since when did a bearer ever need crystals?
But then, where is your brand?
Waiting for me in Sunbreck, if I ever get careless.
Are you serious, Joshua?
Then it's in for a long wait.
Who he ignores for his Bahamut boy that ignores him for his husband that adopted the medicine girl with him. Northern Wolf. This is unnecessary, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's on Tetsukin. Actually, no, what's truly unnecessary is this. Oh, I went for the... God damn it. You know what? I deserve that. These Northern Wolves in no way deserve to get Giga Flared. That said, the fact that Clive's auto target was like, let's target the freaking... What's it called? The lightning rod? Oh.
We're almost at the summit. From there, you'll have a better view of our home. Few have ever set eyes on what I'm about to show you. Just so you know.
That's not what I expected.
Welcome, my friends, to Mysidia.
It's very pretty. Although that might be the glamour doing it for you, but still.
It's been a long time since I saw the North looking so
Alive. How
I'm
is-
sure you have plenty of questions, but it's been a long journey, and I expect we could all do with a rest. Our humble village is only a short way from here, if you'd care to accompany me. Let's get ourselves in front of a fire, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Like, it's a real problem, right? Because if you make a DLC, you don't want to make it look like ass. But also, especially in a game like this,
beautiful.
you don't want to take toys away from people, right?
And we aim to keep it that way.
So they're like, we have to make it so that you can have all your tools from the main game. But also, ooh, is it a... Die! I shouldn't have done that, but still. I didn't drop anything. Oh, they did. We got 6 bloody hides. Excellent. They were in the way. Look, they're probably secretly monsters.
Are those stones glowing?
That's one of the cairns which maintain the glamour. Steer well clear.
Alright, well, I guess so. Why? That's Northern Wolf.
If the surge was an act of rage,
One wonders what prompted it.
Look at that. So that beam is going to or from the surge, it looks like, to something over the other side of the mountains that we can't see right now. Oh yeah, to this town that has a barrier up. Okay. Get lasered. Can I not? Oh, you're too far away. God dang it. I just keep spamming these abilities, so I'm like trying to kill them quickly. Ooh. Oh, a chest. Reflection of Fire Phoenix Shift. Residual effect enhances Phoenix Shift, increasing both movement speed and distance. Ooh, that sounds fun. I know Phoenix is actually one of those ones that, like, even though it's the first icon, it actually does level pretty well. And I do barely use Bahamut. Like, I was making use of it in, Oh. Okay, I like to point out, I wasn't attacking it, but I was right next to it, so it wasn't enough to aggro it. Like, yes, the first time I did murder them.
Could we not have spared ourselves the mountain crossing by landing further north?
In clear view of the bay.
Oh, that's not a thing to go through. Okay. Joshua, look, we had to see this, like, pretty little example of what the DLC looks like. Ooh, there's a path this way. You gonna tell us to stop and turn around? Are you not gonna say anything, Shula? My gosh, you not gonna stop me? Oh, thank you, Dill. 2 in 1 night seemed a little... That's a little bit weird. Oh, this is the end of this path anyways. Okay. If there's anything here. Paying attention that time. Well, I appreciate it. Oh, did they add anything from the rising tide? Not that I would expect them to, but... Had one on Saturday too. Ugh, that's a shame. I always barely pay attention when we're playing.
On evening tides.
Does morning's light return?
Do you really
Open the
need...
gates! The tributary is home!
The tributary? Okay. I would never have thought to call her that. Haven, Mysidia. Look at this idyllic village. Welcome to the Shire. When would you like second breakfast?
Well, I never. Look at the size of that dog.
All right now, back to your duties. You'll have to forgive my people their curiosity. We don't get many visitors. Or any, truth be told.
Then we are honored to be the first.
This is quite extraordinary. Like stepping into another world.
So do you believe me now?
You've made it difficult not to, my lady. But how did your people chance to settle here in the north? Unless I am much mistaken, the moats of water long called the coasts of Southern Ash their home.
Wow, they moved a lot.
Until Drake's Horn fell and the Blight forced them ever inland, where...
We met our doom, along with our dominant. I see you've read the Gregorian Church's account, but perhaps you'd like to hear ours. That building over there is the Witten Hall. It's where my people gather to discuss matters of import. We can speak more inside, once the place is ready to receive you. It shouldn't take long, but you're welcome to explore the village while I see to things.
Thank you. We'll do just that.
Oh, hell yeah. Put off the main plot and explore a place. This is probably where we're going to be ending this stream in an hour. It depends on how big this place is. Doesn't look that big, honestly.
That'll be them then. Don't look like much if you ask me.
Are you... What are you... Do you not see how Clive looks? Plus Torgal, who I put in this outfit that makes him glow with cool blue energy.
He's coming over here. What do we do? I don't know. Just look busy.
So, like, how big is your population?
I give you my grain. You give me your eggs. Everyone's happy. Except for the eggs.
actual chickens. Still wild to me.
The stalks are thin, the leaves limp. We should dress the soil with dung and straw at once, or I fear for the autumn harvest.
I mean, assuming that your magic is not also replacing the sky, you're still gonna run out of food because of the end of the world, but...
Just you stay away from that temple. Do you hear me?
I heard you the first time.
The excitable child did not sound very childlike. Bird. I'm gonna hope that it doesn't have a... Okay, good.
Oh, do you think he bites?
Who? The hound? Or his master?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure that even if their population is large enough, they're still probably on the side of being inbred, so, you know, any new genetic material they can afford.
Oh, don't think I can carry another barrel up those steps. If I had a crystal, maybe?
Those crystals are for the glamour, you lazy beggar. Now stop whining and get that water to the foundry.
Look! That one's got a black cape. Do you think he's the leader?
Hell yeah. Also, the stores. I'm assuming these actually, like, might be an item store and a blacksmith once we get going. But you probably have to actually advance the story to unlock them.
Look, Nan, it's the outsiders.
Hush! It's not polite to call outsiders outsiders.
I mean, it's accurate. Oh, say anything?
We must flee.
It's all right. They're the tributary's guests.
After what did to us. It's wrong.
The tributaries guests? Okay. Alright, let's go the long way around over this way. I keep looking if they're gonna have like a chest or something for me to loot.
Mom,
Goddamn poor
I want to
villagers.
play with the others.
Well, you should have thought about that before making such a mess.
I'm sorry. What even did she make a mess of? If she made that much a mess of laundry, then yeah, jeez.
How long do you think this bridge has been standing here?
Oh, at least as long as we have.
No, it was a bad joke. You get no laughter, ma'am.
Suddenly, there were curls everywhere I looked. It was all I could do to make it back to Haven without being torn limb from limb.
All you could do. And there I was thinking you were a bearer.
I mean, girls are still giant murder panthers. They have chocobos here.
Did you hear that, girl? You're going with father today.
If you don't mind, Manda, I'm in a hurry.
Alright, we might get a replacement Ambrosia just for this.
The tributary is in the Witten Hall, as you should be.
Excuse you, Keeper of the Forest Gate. I'm looking around. Which she expressly told us I could do. So, a fooge off.
Seems like one of the cairns was disturbed by an ibex. As if we didn't have enough to do. Busy or not, though, we'll need to see to it soon. Don't want the glamour unraveling.
See? Hear that, Katie? The ibexes have also been breaking their glamour. So it's a good thing I murdered at least a few of them. Teaching them a lesson.
Please, Grandad, tell us another story about the witch.
I thought maybe the granddad was going to say something, but I guess not. We'll have to leave it to our imagination with the witches.
The poor things are as pale as ghosts. Are they unwell?
I don't think so, ma'am. It's just the way they are.
All right.
Welcome to
That
Haven.
lady.
The tributary awaits you within the Witten Hall.
Okay, she said it like tributary, but others have been saying tributary. Oh well.
Welcome to Haven. The tributary awaits you within the Witten Hall.
Oh, whatever. What is consistency in voice acting?
So what do you think of our little haven in the woods? It might not have all the comforts of a southern settlement, but at least it's ours.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It can't have been easy keeping this place a secret.
Not easy, no. We've dedicated our lives to maintaining the glamour that conceals us. Us and Walyas.
Walyas?
This man, Walyas, is he Leviathan's dominant?
That's right. Though he's no man, Walyas is still a baby.
A baby?
Oh no. Baby dominant.
But you said that the Dominant and his icon were bound inside the Surge almost a century ago. That would surely make him older still.
It would, if he'd been allowed to age. But the spell robbed the poor bairn of even that.
I'm sorry.
Walyas was the son of my great-grandfather. Leviathan awoke within him almost immediately. But instead of allowing the lad to live out his life as a
He's the
valued member
Avatar.
of the community,
But he's an even younger Avatar than Aang.
my ancestors sought to put his power to other uses. Sadly for them, the icons sensed their treachery and summoned a wave so large it would have swallowed the entire village if my ancestors hadn't stopped him.
Then it is not the surge that binds the child, but time itself.
Yes.
Forgive me. I'm still not sure I understand.
I'm not surprised. It isn't the easiest thing to explain. Which is why it might be better if I took you to see him. Show you exactly what he has to endure.
That is why we came.
Then let us be off. There's a road that leads north from the village. It'll take us right into the Surge.
Time to eat a baby. To gain his mythical god powers.
Are you bound for the wave, tributary?
We are, Delina. Have you spread the word about our guests?
I have. Everyone knows to treat them as family.
You shouldn't have any trouble now, but just in case, I would have you accept this symbol of our people.
Oh, I forgot this was a thing in this game. You accepted the ceaseless rill from Shula.
That's very kind. I look forward to meeting the family.
The feeling's mutual.
Should the tributary be indisposed, feel free to ask me any questions you might have regarding the village, and I'll do my best to answer.
Thank you. We will.
Then I bid you good tide.
All right.
Our storehouse lies across the bridge. If you're short of supplies, you may find what you need there. Though we will have to ask you for recompense, poor as we are.
Hopefully it's not too much. All right. The pursuit of knowledge, it's the thought that counts. We have side quests. And let's look at this item. This seal marks its bearer as a trusted ally of Shula, tributary of the moats of water. She'll be waiting till the tides bear you back to shore. And we can talk to Delina.
My lord,
We'll ask about Delina.
my name is Delina.
And she serves as adjutant to Lady Shula, tributary of Mysidia. She goes on, while other adjutants who came before her played the role of guardian as well as aide, Lady Shula is an able warrior in her own right and requires no protection. So she assists her in ministering to their people's affairs while she is absent or
By
indisposed.
way of example,
It was she who informed the rest of the village of our coming, at the tributary's request. If there is aught we wish to know of their people or their village, she's asked us to please not hesitate to ask. Well, let's ask about the village.
as I'm sure you're aware,
She goes on, this land was once the domain of the northern Thanes, though the settlement had lain abandoned for some time when their ancestors' wanderings finally brought them here. Remote as it was, it seemed to them the ideal place to settle, and they duly cast a glamour over it that their new home might remain hidden.
the secret of the spell itself.
Oh wow, I've never seen, why did they do this as one big one? Why did not just do this as two separate ones? Game, are you okay? The secret of the spell itself, she goes on, had been passed down from generation to generation since the time they left Ash. They used it to disguise our camps, that the custodians of the lands through which they wandered should not learn of their trespass, and it was these temporary enchantments which led their ancestors to contemplate a more permanent solution upon arriving here. I mean, I guess the idea is this was just a very dense line in Japanese, so they're just like, screw it, just put it all the English text in this little paragraph box.
So they built the Kens.
They filled them with all the shards of crystal the tribe could spare, and summoned forth a glamour large enough to cover the entire land. And for many days and nights thereafter, the bearers labored to attune the spell, that the outside world might see this place slowly succumb to the blight,
And thus we hid ourselves away.
welcoming none into their private haven, until lost, that is. At first, the spell only worked one way. It was only after the skies changed that we conjured a second illusion for the benefit of those inside. That they conjured a second illusion. It was Lady Shula's idea. A salve for the nerves of those who feared the roiling storm clouds were a harbinger of the end. She prays that it brings us a little relief from the darkness of the world beyond the wall, as it has done for them. Ask about the moats of water.
Our story began.
On the narrow coasts of southern Ash where, for want of arable land, they relied on the mountain rains to quench their thirst, and the bounty of the sea to fill their bellies, and thus did they learn the value of water.
After the fall of Drake's Horn.
They spent decades in exile, drifting across the deserts and snowfields of the Twins, till at last they arrived here in Mysidia, their second true home. Here, they found mountains, rivers, and seas, not unlike those of their first home in Ash. All that they lacked was crystal. They have no mother crystal of their own here, nor have they ever received any stipend from their neighbors. Were it not for the few shards they had been able to stockpile during their wanderings in storm, they might never have survived the first few winters, let alone cast the glamour that protects them. For the demand that the bearers among them sacrifice their lives for the benefit of the others was never an option. The hardships they had faced on their journey had brought them together, and they would not be divided again. Thankfully, their unity proved their strength. So basically, these super special DLC folks were able to do extra things because they weren't awful cartoonish racists. And so here they have stayed, dependent only upon the blessings which the land provides them, the springs, the rivers, the seas. These are all the moats of water need. Oh, okay.
Till next our streams cross.
Yeah. Talking about tides till next our streams cross. Alright.
Sid,
Weirda?
you are Sid, aren't you? The man the tributary told us about? I wonder if you could help me.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. Anyway, his name day's not far off, and I wanted to make a gift for him.
Pavat. Okay.
He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he uses for dye making. So I wondered if you might collect some for me and give them to him.
Would this gift not be better coming from you?
Perhaps, but it can't, for reasons I can't go into. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be ever so grateful.
How can this be? A town without pointless cruelty?
Apparently. Or that, or they're just hiding it from us really well. Well, alright.
Please, sir, I need you to give my husband a gift.
Fine. Which flowers does your husband need?
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. Elder's blessings, they're called. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water like they are. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with you. 2 basketfuls should be enough for my husband to be getting on with.
2 basketfuls it is.
It's the thought that counts. How else will they power the agony matrix? Maybe they have a friend matrix instead.
Speak to the flower pickers by the pond. Tell them it's Elder's blessings you're after. 2 baskets of them.
What the hell is Werda doing here? Like, the flowers are right here in town. What does she need us to collect? Well, not even collect them ourselves, but get them from other people and then give them to her. Oh, this is gonna be dumb, I'm sure. Hey, give me flowers.
Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket of Elder's blessings? Pavart's wife tasked me with collecting some for her husband and suggested that I speak to you.
Ah, Werda wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our labour, does she? Go on then. Give the old fool something to squirm about.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavart may be, but if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
Like, I assume this is just to unlock the blacksmith for this area, but why is it so
Pavart's
weird?
not a bad bloke, like, he's just a bit of a craftsman, you know?
I don't know, actually. Well, I mean, Blackthorn's kind of that way a little bit.
Ah, welcome to Haven, friend.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some Elder's blessings. 2 basketfuls, to be precise.
Well, I have 1, if that's any help.
It is. I'm much obliged. They really are beautiful.
Aren't they just? Though that's not the only reason they have a special place in our hearts.
Alright.
Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the time took some seeds with them. And as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. Every elder since has done the same. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia, the flowers did too.
Okay, that's nice.
Well, that's 2 basketfuls.
Quick complete. After completing the main objective of some quest, you may be given the option to quick travel to the quest final destination. So you prompt the lower right corner of the screen, hold down this, and immediately travel to the NPC eagerly when you return. It's not mandatory for you to... Oh my god. That is such a nice quality of life thing. Is this some... They must have... Okay, either they did this for just the DLC, or maybe they just patched this in for like all the side quests. when they did this in the DLC. Because obviously I haven't touched this game since, so.
Time to visit Pavat.
Report to Pavat for the quest is a thought that counts. Oh wait, give me 1 second. I do want to see what these look like in here, though. The Elder's blessings that grow by the water's edge yield a lasting blue dye, with which the motes of water are wont to stain their fabrics. This much is known. Quite why Werda, the wife of Haven's leading artisan Pavat, needs Clive's assistance in restocking her husband's supply of the flowers remains a mystery. Yes. I've had enough of traveling. Teleport me. Oh, wonderful. Are you... Okay, no, you're looking at a sword. Okay.
What do you want?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
Hand over. Basket full of flowers. Right, I forgot they do that, so I could have read it there. Oh, well.
That woman. Come out. I know you're there.
Who? Me?
Would either of you care to explain what's going on?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I didn't mean to deceive you. It's just, my husband can be a bit standoffish at times, and I thought this might be a good way for the two of you to get acquainted. What with you being a swordsman like, and him being the only smith in the village. It'd be a shame if you couldn't turn to him for help.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. With or without my darling wife's meddling. Still, here we are. Acquainted. So, if there's out you need, just bring us the materials, alright?
Alright.
I think I like Blackthorn more.
And tar for the flowers. I was running low.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and lasting blue.
Can we get the sword
Use
pen
it to stain the
burner for
cloth
Clive?
our tunics and pennons. Remind us where we come from, like.
As motes of water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The pattern too was left by our ancestors. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolizes the river of our tribe, with the strength of Leviathan running through it. And no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I should get back to work. If you need something crafting, let me know.
I will. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wasn't it just?
Okay, they have a weird way of bowing. Good to know. Quest complete. This was very minor, but you did it anyways. Reflection of Earth Titanic Block. Enhances Titan's iconic feat, Titanic Block, making it capable to block attacks from behind, or restoring a small amount of the HP regain gauge. Oh, these are interesting. Haven Foundry now available. I guess so we can make DLC weapons here instead of having to teleport to Blackthorn.
Yes?
I don't know why you giving me the option to make these. Reinforce. Oh, I can actually... I mean, do I want to reinforce these? I mean, the living tissue and palm I can do anything with, so I have plenty of wear right at Magic Dash. Yeah, I guess so. Why not, right?
Better than you.
The aqueous humors. Okay.
Will that do you?
All right.
Good tide to you.
And are you gonna be the shop?
Where in the blue heavens has that girl got to?
You better not mean this girl right behind you.
Oh, I'll have her hide when she gets back. Oh, sorry. I was leagues away. How can I help you? If you're after something from the storehouse, it's actually my wife you'll want to talk to. She will have to charge you for the goods, though. Not that we'd fleece you or anything. It's just, you know, needs must.
I understand.
It's a store, I understand.
Saying that, she might not be able to get anything down for you for a bit.
Ah, right.
She's got her hands full with the inventory, you see. It should have been my daughter's job, really, but the willful little Rills decided to make herself scarce. The heavens only know where that girl's got to.
If you'd like me to keep an eye out for her.
Oh, no. I couldn't ask that of an outsider.
Well, too bad. I'm gonna do it anyways.
You wouldn't mind?
I'll play hide and goddamn seek. All right.
Of course not. She won't have gone far, will she?
I hope not. But I've scoured the entire village for her and come up empty-handed. Can't help thinking she might have gone on another one of her little adventures.
Ah, a free spirit, is she?
Aye, that she is. Can't get her to sit still, especially once you heard you lot were on your way. Outsiders! You should have seen her little eyes light up.
I mean, that's fair.
If she wanted to
For a
watch you
child.
arrive, she'd have made for the low gate where you first came in. The guard there might have spotted her. Maybe you could ask him. Ruka, her name is.
All right. I'll let you know if I find her. Try not to worry.
Time to search for Ruka. We'll prioritize the quest. Why not? Doing little side quests.
Did you want something from the stores? The tributary told us you might, and that was to share what we could with you. But we were meant to be taking a full inventory, and I won't know for sure what we can spare till it's done. Oh, sorry, but you'll have to wait till my daughter gets back, whenever that may be.
Did she already do the inventory? Because otherwise... Oh, whatever.
Mine
with...
ancestors, grant me the strength to tame the troubled waters of mine heart, that it might at last find serenity.
That was a nice little prayer, actually. Alright, have you seen Ruka?
Excuse me. You haven't seen the storekeeper's daughter, have you?
Little Ruka? I have, as it happens. She went out through the gate not long ago.
Out of the village? Alone?
Aye, she does it all the time.
She uses the shell as an abacus.
There's a path off to the left which leads down the river. Nice little spot, that. It's safe as you like. The beasts of the mountain don't dare come so close to the village. That's where she'll be. Go and have a look if you don't believe me.
I will.
Could you imagine if we found her and she had just a ton of little braids in her hair?
Follow the path to the left. Ruka will be playing down by the river. Trust me.
Sure, dude. Oh, right, River's Edge. Makes sense. That's why we could go this way.
This must be the path.
Little girl, if you're being attacked, let me grab this item first.
They're not here either.
Why would you? You're not even looking the right way. You're not a curious child, you're a dumb child.
It's you! I've been looking everywhere for you.
You must be Ruka.
You know my name? Can you lot read
asked me to keep an eye out for you.
You know what? That wasn't a bad
You
question.
left without telling him where you were going. He was worried.
But I went to look for you.
Well, now you found me. What do you say we head back to the village and let your father know you're safe?
All right. And on the way home, you can tell me all about the world beyond the wall. I want to know everything.
Everything might be a stretch.
That was nice. So I forgot Clive kind of has a soft spot for kids.
Thank you for bringing her home. And sorry for the trouble.
Oh, no. It was a pleasure.
Daddy, did you know that there are villages 10 times as big as Haven in the outside world? 10 times! Cities, they call them. And in these cities, they have great big walls and towers and castles.
This poor man.
Oh, to think I was worried. You can tell me all about the outside world later, Sweet Pea. Now go and help your mum with the stores.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with her questions. She, has a lot of them. One of the big ones being, what are the people beyond the wall like? Reckon you've made a good first impression.
Are we the only ones she's ever met?
Clive.
There you are.
Whatever.
The rest of the world can't know we're here, so we'll have to be very careful who we're letting in and out. A few of us might make the occasional trip to shore for supplies, but for the most part, we'll make do with what we've got, including what the old Northerners left us.
Yes. You built on top of the old ruins, didn't you?
Well, they make for fine foundations. Their masons clearly knew what they were doing. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Oh, it's everything else that's the problem. Medicines, metals for tool making, anything like that. We have to dress up as traveling merchants and make a trip to the outside and pray to every cloud in the heavens that nobody sees through us.
Which explains why you need Gil.
Aye. And now Rook is back, my wife should be free to assist you with any potential purchases. So please, do make good use of our stores, because we fully intend to make good use of your coin.
I'll be sure to keep my purse strings loose.
Quest complete. That's not bad, actually. Do just a couple little side quests just to give you the town stuff. Ageless tallow, rendered from the fat of boar or bison, or in the case of Mysidia, chocobo or ibex. Tallow is widely used in the manufacture of foul-smelling candles and oily soaps. Blacksmiths have also been known to employ the substance in the final stages of polishing steel. This particular sample appears to have been affected by a sulfate of ether, which has somehow slowed its degradation process, allowing it to maintain both its vibrancy and viscosity, despite having been left untouched for several decades. I like the sound. It's going to suck when it gets ruined. I know, right? Like, maybe that doesn't happen, but that's kind of the implication of something like this, right? Like, you find this idyllic little place, and we found that at the part of the story where everything's getting blown up anyways, because we're at the apocalypse right now.
What do you think the tributary says?
Will you be back soon? You've still got to tell me everything else about the outside world.
They'll be fine as long as they didn't build on ancient ruins or something. Ah, Del makes a good point. Wait.
It's a pity nothing but the foundations were left standing. A whole storehouse made of stone would make it a lot easier to keep our supplies in good nick.
Thanks for bringing me daughter back. I don't grudge her looking for adventure, but she's got to pull her weight like the rest of us. Anyway, now we've got the inventory done, I can attend to my own tasks, like seeing to our visitors' needs. So, was the route you wanted? I will have to charge you.
Oh no, you actually have things for me to buy.
I don't have any valuables. Do you want a god of damage? No, I'm not gonna sell my swords. Why'd I even bother upgrading the Fallen Belt too? This is already better. The Minwu Waistcloth. It is suspected that the dye made from flowers known as Elder's Blessings, grown in Mysidia, not only give the Motes of Water's clothing its vibrant blue hue, but that ethereal residue attributed to an ancient spell cast upon the land somehow increases the dye's permanence, which, in turn, renders the cloth applied thereto more resistant to both damage from external forces and natural degradation. A heart, while a fine place for fancy, is nowhere to hide your purse. Mote of Water witticism. Oh, I should still be able to afford it all.
Well, if you're sure you need it.
Minwu Armoring. Upon their 16th name day, every Mote of Water is fitted with a hand-carved wooden torque that they will keep for the rest of their lives, a vestige of their tribe's long years of wandering following the fall of Drakeshorn, in which the loss of members was commonplace. The ring represents a singular bond between the motes that transcends both physical and spiritual distance. Know that even should you walk abyss, our hands will guide you home. Mote of Water adage.
May it serve you well.
I don't have enough money to buy the music. A tattered slip of parchment upon which has been hastily scrawled several bars of music and the title Safe Haven. Damn. So why is this cloth that regular villagers make better than ancient Magitech? Because, magic. Funny thing is, that is basically what it is, isn't it? Oh, man. I guess I could sell these kind of things. I might need them at some point. I don't know. Like, I don't think I would need this many Dragon Talons, but who knows? I could sell these I would never use, but why would I? No, we'll just have to come back once we make more money.
What do you think the tributary sees in those outside?
All right.
How long do you think this bridge has been?
It's near time for me to wrap up, but I think we're still like in the early phase, so it might still be worth doing this part of the next quest line. So let's save. Back to the origin complete. Yes, okay. I hate when it does that because I don't want to save over this one. Okay. Oh, will you say now that I can go through here, asshole?
Surge, are you? Well, just you stay close to the tributary. We don't want you getting lost in the forest.
Jerk. Alright. I forgot sometimes you have to push gates open.
There's a pair of ships just up ahead.
Ships? But are we not still leagues from the shore?
And she didn't answer the question. Okay. Only bloody hides. That's okay. I had to do the other one, but this is okay.
The quickest route to the surge is due east, past the second galley.
Shula, how did these ships come to be here?
What do you imagine happens when an icon of water gets angry?
Really, brother? Did you have to ask?
Joshua, come on. You should be on our side, man.
this is actually a fair size. Alright. Alright.
Tonberries.
Tonberries?
Creatures consumed by their hatred for everyone and everything.
Everything save sharp knives, it seems.
I don't know how to feel about these tonberries. They're like actually sized. Like, what are they? Are they like fish people? Or they look like they might be salamanders? I mean, they might still be just lizard people, but they have like a fish tail though. I think I need to go the other way, maybe. Well, they both look like they go the same way, actually. You know, I don't think I even thought about the fact that, because I mentioned tonberries earlier, I didn't think about the fact they're not in the base game. They just look like people here. Big Tonberry is real. Big Tonberry can hurt you. Those didn't seem super devastating yet, but that might be because there's like a boss version or a mini boss version we haven't found yet. Yes, it's fine.
I can smell the sea.
It's not far now.
Oh, that is very pretty though.
How will we reach the surge?
We'll follow the coastline north. There's a bridge that'll take us across to the cape.
I forgot about the adamant toys. Or it's called a lesser arcellum. Will that do it? This is kind of a waste of his on Tetsukin, but at the same time. No, we'll get it back anyways right now, so this is fine. It is very bulky. Two goblin coins. Oh, that's a little bit of money in the pocket. Oh, what is attacking us? Okay. That time they went after the ibex purely on their own. I had nothing to do with that one. I was killing a turtle monster.
It's what prevents the surge from being reclaimed by the sea. And Dwalius by his people.
Okay, so the beam of light is what's like freezing it in time. don't want to fight you guys. There we go.
You said before that the child is bound within the surge. But you've yet to tell us how we're meant to reach him. I trust we won't have to hold our breath.
No. The surge wraps around the cape without engulfing it. If we continue to its tip, there is a path down to the seabed. And the wave's origin.
All right. It won't be the first dominant we've met at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh yeah, this happened with Bernie. When he did his cool Odin cut the water thing. Okay, so this is like a whole mission thing. Alright. The Surge, Mysidia. A lone wave rises to eternity, cursed never to break, the hands of time having stilled the rage of its tortured creator. Okay. Well, if this is going to be a whole mission type thing, we'll go through this opening bit. I'll save and I'll just call it here. Oh, that's very pretty though. That's okay, that's really cool. Like I do like the idea of like how do we make just a wave? Well, what if we freeze it in time? Then it can be just a geographic location.
Not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Walius's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the
What do
responsibility?
you mean Walius's descendant? Didn't you say he was a
You
baby?
misunderstand. I do it because I want to show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes.
I guess you're still a descendant, even if it's really just like a great uncle, right?
The forest grows quickly here. Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
It's kind of a little bit of a weird thing to think about. But yeah, there we go. I'm gonna assume you get Leviathan relatively early in this DLC, so you can play around with them. But we'll see, I guess. That's gonna be for next time, ideally. But for now, I'm gonna wrap up. I guess it helps that I'm still in action focused, so I didn't go to the hard difficulty, so it wasn't as awkward to jump back into this game as I thought it would be. And it is fun to finally be at like, we tease it, well not even tease it, but because of the nature of this hole in the story, it teases itself. We're finally getting the Leviathan. And next time, maybe we'll even get a kaiju fight with it, and Clive will see the full majesty of whatever the hell Leviathan is. But that is not tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Until next time, good night.